Hello buddies, I'm Hugo. In this video, I would like to have a quick review on this AMD engineering sample, the Ryzen 5000 series APU. From the rumor, it's supposed to be the 5700G or 5750G. The certain type is not sure right now. The SSD I'm using is from Samsung 980 Pro, PCIe Gen 4, 1TB. But I can tell you from the very first beginning, you don't have to use such cutting-edge but expensive SSD, because just like the 4000 series APU, the 5000 series still doesn't support a PCIe Gen 4. The mainboard I'm using is from Gigabyte X570 Aorus Elite. Actually, just a regular wave prison fan can well handle the 65 watts APU, but the main issue is there is so many complaints from Chinese Reddit that its original thermal compound paste will get solid once after months like the concrete. The RAM I'm using is G-Skill 16GB, Trident Z Royal Gold 3200 speed, all 4 slots. Not for the performers, but looks gorgeous. Just take for my own example, the BIOS of my Gigabyte's mainboard's version is F30, so I'm using a former generation APU to upgrade it safely. Of course, the latest version BIOS should support the Ryzen 5000 series. After refresh it, we could see the version renews to F33A. Based on the latest version BIOS, here we feel free to launch the engineering sample. Now we see the product code ending with 263-30, and that's correct. The following section is the most expected part, perfect smoothly entering the system. As could be seen from the text manager, the 263 product code is also correctly being identified. However, without a graphic driver, the GPU is not found. See, here is blank. Let's check more details from CPU Z. The name is without certain code but just Ryzen. The codename ZZAM is correct. Also, the product code 263 on specification and the voltage. The frequency is floating as I didn't OC or lock it. Caches, mainboard, RAM info, SPD, the graphics, also blank. Now we have benchmark testing. Amazing! A single thread score surpasses 600. Comparing with the same 8-core 102, multi-threads has 17% leading, while the 10700 is 13%. Compares with 5750G, the 5700G has over 10% advantage. Turning to Freeze benchmark, its performance is also incredible. Similarly, about 10% improvement from previous generation. The Cinebench R15 I use auto run continuously tests for 10 times. Here I sum that as this chart. Even if compared with 9900K, it takes roughly 10% leading. Without a dedicated driver or any other graphic card, sometimes the Windows graphics warning will occur. Still, please don't directly install the driver we provide. Otherwise, such failure on the final step will keep exist. Generally speaking, you should install the driver via the computer management. Choose the device manager, select the display adapters. Update driver just following step by step. If you can't read Chinese, it really doesn't matter because the icons are on the same position. Now find the driver back on the desktop. Packages, drivers, display, exactly, this weird name. Keep going. Choose the upper INF file beginning with C. Confirmed. Now, all the supporting devices are on the list. Just feel free rolling down to the lower middle section. Target lock. Select Vega 8. Upper one. Well, I have no idea why they are doubled, but just do it. Next, neglect the notice. Choose yes. Meanwhile, the screen may flash a few times, but don't worry about that. Perfect, the driver is successfully installed. Watch this. Currently, it's time to restart the system. Brilliant, the GPU monitoring panel now exists. Also, the codenamed Vega 8 is correctly demonstrated. Alright, with this graphic driver, we could test a few games. The Battlefield 5 in 1080p resolution, medium level texture, it could hardly stand on 30 FPS. Without a shadow of doubt, the low FPS warning always exists. Alright, I won't struggle on this. Back to the settings, select the quality as low. Immediately, the FPS boosts to 40. I think it is playable now. As a fair conclusion, this integrated GPU, Vega 8, is closely as GTX 1050 level. Still, I got a crit because there is no sound. Due to the driver is still not 100% compatible right now. Nevertheless, the Battlefield 5, so-called the Cheetahfield 5, is totally ruined this game. Never a time I leave the vehicle. Indeed, tons of all headshots cheaters like this. Back on checking the task manager, the core GPU was almost in full loading. Now I return to the Battlefield 4, which was released 7 years ago. At that time we called it as bugful. Definitely in 2K resolution, low quality, it is playable. If I set it as ultra high, it still can run smoothly even in non-combat scenes. Let's check this. The FPS is getting terrible. Don't give up, I set as medium level. Accordingly, the FPS could reach up to 40. At least, it fills my personal minimum requirements. In the 15 minutes of stress testing, the wave prison cooler can stably control the core temperature below 65 Celsius. Meanwhile, our room temperature is 22 Celsius in this warm winter in Hong Kong.